I'm Susan Davis Mora. It's a joy to be with you. I'm going to share my story of my life and the joy I've had by finding my life destiny path and sharing it with the world. It starts when I was 20, and I reached an intuitive decision that I knew was really important for my life to be my life. And everybody in my world, friends, family, everyone told me I was wrong. And so I went into despair. And within 3 months, I decided I had to trust my intuition. And I did that, and it meant that I changed my life. And I just trusted my intuition from then on. And so I've made a number of decisions that I've described in my book that are, I guess, inconceivable to some people, but I made those decisions, and sure enough, they turned out to be very good for the world, very healthy for me. So I've had a wonderful, healthy life ever since then, trusting my intuition. So from 20 to 30, I trusted my intuition and did unusual things, and they all turned out well. And by the time I was 30, I figured out what measurably I wanted to do, and that was that I wanted to transform global finance from greed and fear to love and joy. Imagine you having that mission. Pretty exciting. So that's what my life has been like. I've met some of the best people in the world and done some of the best things possible with them. And it's all gifted to Earth and its people, because that's why I'm alive. My real focus in life was to use this KINS innovation method to transform finance. So I did about 6 or 7 networks that started the industry, and they were all successful, and that spurred me on. And I then was able later to spread out to all kinds of challenges. We made solar happen for the world in a KINS innovation network that never even got declared legal or made any publicity, because the energy industry did not want solar to be made for the world. So they put up some barriers, and by taking no credit and by operating under the radar, this little group of 30 people were able to be wildly successful. And I describe that a little bit in my book, which is called The Trojan Horse of Love. It's a free book. You just put The Trojan Horse of Love into the computer and you'll get the download. I would do one network after another by doing the research to identify the people who already had the mission of the network as their mission, but they came from 30 different sectors. So by having people who were on their life destiny path, with the expertise they had and the credibility they had in 30 different sectors, you can imagine that it didn't cost money. It took a little time for them to say, okay, we want to make solar happen for the world. What part does the manufacturing industry play? What part does it play the people agitating to insist on solar? What part does it play to do the marketing? By taking the expertise that people had from all these sectors, who all were absolutely aligned at the heart and in higher consciousness anyway, this was wildly successful and cost almost nothing, and was a great joy for all the members. So the members stayed. Some of them are still going 40 years later, and it's very exciting to have had this as my life. We now wound up in Vilcabamba, Ecuador, on a wonderful fluke. My best friend Penny Kelly called me out of the blue 15 years ago, and she said, "Susan, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you, you have worked so hard on KINS for so long that you have about a year to live." And then I hung up, and I stopped doing KINS, and I stopped doing just about everything to kind of think about that idea. And lo and behold, by, quote, a miracle, I helped somebody I'd never met because a friend asked me to. She told me a huge problem she had, and I was able to tell her the solution to the problem. But when I heard what I was telling her, it did not come from my mind. It was words coming out of my mouth. And I didn't know what was going on, but I continued. And after 2 hours, she was so grateful. She said I answered her dreams, and she wanted to gift me and my husband with a 2-week visit in Vilcabamba, Ecuador, which was a highly sacred spot on earth There'd never been a war there. It's very high consciousness. There were about 4,000 locals and about 1,500 foreigners from all over the world of high consciousness who were working to live together, enjoy, and have Vilcabamba prosper and be a model of international collaboration of higher consciousness. So lo and behold, we took the gift of the two weeks. 7 days after we were there, we bought a house. We decided to take a permanent sabbatical because we were both in a position where it was appropriate to do that. And we've been here in Vilcabamba ever since. We've done one network in Vilcabamba that Marian Rockefeller Weber gave me $20,000 a year for 3 years. It's a program of hers to do good, however me and my friends could do it, but without pay. So we were able to take her $60,000 and do more than $1 million worth of good in Vilcabamba that changed the town, because there had been a dump that was poisoning the town. The kids were in the hospital all the time from the bad stuff in the dump. And we got a global multinational to give us a thick report on how that could be done for $1 million. And we then took that to the local people who had earth-moving machines, and they used the report to execute the correction of the dump for $6,500. So that's the kind of magic that can happen with KINS Innovation Networks, and with people working together who are fully on their destiny path and finding the joy and the health of that, and creating results that are wonderful. We also did a network in Nigeria. We introduced microloans to all of Nigeria for $200,000 that we'd been gifted. And then the network here had $1 million of good out of 60,000. So there are stories throughout my book that give you strength to believe that, yes, if you can identify your life destiny path and throw yourself into it, you'll have a life of joy and health and prosperity. So I urge you all, you can go to kinsinnovation.org, you can go to The Trojan Horse of Love, which is a true book. I shared all the things happening that are a little unbelievable, but it also tells you how to create a KINS for yourself. So I hope you enjoy my book, and I appreciate you listening to my story, and God bless.